Hey performers, welcome back to Danny Robertson Music, where we want to help you become the performer that you are meant to be. I'm Danny Robertson. Thank you for joining me again this week. We're coming up on the middle of July right now. It's hot. It's exciting. We've had a lot of good shows so far this summer, and summer does tend to be a busy time, so you may have a series of gigs lined up for the rest of the summer right now. But I have an important question for you. What do you have booked right now in January or even further? My point is that this is also a very good time to start looking at the rest of your year and going into next year. Start trying to get ahead of your booking schedule so that you're not searching for gigs when there are no gigs to be had. So we're going to be looking at 4 different ways that you should be focused on booking in July so that you can get ahead of the rest of this year and the start of next year. Okay, let's get started. The first one's probably the most obvious one. Anywhere that you're currently playing already, do they have you booked for the rest of this year and even into next year? Do you have yourself on a regular schedule with the places that you like to play and they like to have you? Get in contact with any bars, clubs, coffee shops, churches, any places that you would be normally playing on a regular routine schedule, and make sure that you are booked out for 3, 6, 9 months so that you have a regular routine schedule for all of those places. Because if you don't, it's very likely that somebody else will, and you might miss out on some opportunities to have regular gigs available to you, especially during your slow seasons. Second thing to look at is, do you have any outlying potential clients that have reached out and shown some level of interest but have not booked you yet or have not made a decision yet? Try to get in contact with those people and see if you can solidify those gigs. If there's a potential wedding or corporate event that is outstanding, try to reach out to those people and see where they stand on making their decision. You may find out that a few of them still want to book you and just hadn't pulled the trigger yet. And you may find out that some of them have already made a decision and have gone a different way. It doesn't really matter. The point is that you need to solidify and finalize what happens with those conversations. Anything that's a corporate event or a wedding or a bar mitzvah or anything along those lines that's considered a special event, make sure that they're not forgetting about you and you are helping them make that final decision. Speaking of weddings and corporate events, another way that you can look at this is to reach out to all of those venues that are in your area that host special events. Places like wedding reception halls, convention centers, things like that. Try to reach out and see where they are still needing live entertainment for specific events that they have booked. Try to get in contact with those kinds of venues about their schedules and see where you might be able to jump in and serve a purpose as live entertainment for them. And lastly, this one can happen at just about any point of the year, but if you do it in July, it serves as a great time to kind of feel really good about solidifying your year end. If you want to play this one, make sure that you are booked for New Year's Eve in July. And the reason I say that is because when you start searching for it in September, October, November, or even December, a lot of the good ones are already going to be taken. So figure out where you want to play for New Year's Eve and approach that venue about being their New Year's Eve live entertainment. Now, if you don't have any desire to play New Year's Eve, that's okay too. But I'm trying to say is figure out your year-end events, the ones that you really, really want to play before the end of the year, and make sure you are getting those things on the calendar, okay? The more effort you put into it and the harder you work at it, the more likely you're going to have some options for what places you want to play every single year. So get to work on that. That's it for this week. I know you probably are busy with playing gigs right now, but this is that time to get focused on finishing your year strong and getting started into next year's booking schedule. Very often, the high-end events that are paying a lot of money for live entertainment, they are booking 6, 12, 18 months, 24 months in advance. And if you're not paying attention to that, you're going to get left behind on it. I've played plenty of shows, for example, like holiday parties, where we'll play it on a Saturday night, and by that next Monday, that company is calling to book us again for the next year because they want to make sure that they can have us for the calendar date that they want. The more work you put in now, the better your chances are to have great gigs at the end of this year and have good gigs going into next year. So that's it for this week. Thanks again for joining me. If you'd like to dive deeper into learning more about these kinds of things like performing on stage, becoming a better speaker, booking gigs, having a way to present a good live show, check us out on DannyRobertsonMusic.com. There's even a freebies section where you can take advantage of some guides. Best of luck to you on booking out the rest of your year, and we'll see you soon. Take care.